Hello again, everybody. I hope that your gratitude practice has been going pretty well the last couple of weeks and that you're really working on developing that specificity and recency. And it's becoming a lot easier to notice and to journal these things down if that wasn't the type of habit you had before. And I hope you're really starting to build this kind of good book of evidence so far that is, helpful to kind of alleviating some stress or maybe adding some more patience into your life. I really hope that this you're starting to notice that it's making an impact, or that in general that it is making an impact. So keep journaling, and I promise you that it will keep working. What I wanted to talk about a little bit today is a concept I introduced last week, was with the idea of building habits of thought. And we can talk a lot about the spiritual importance of gratitude practice, and that it feels good and that it adds a lot of value to our life. But there's also a value in understanding kind of the science of it, and it reinforces our behavior a little bit when we know that this is something that is actually really helpful to us. So talking about habits of thought, I want to start with talking about motor patterns, or specifically muscle memory, or something we call muscle memory. Really, that's a concept I think we understand a little bit more in general, and that is the idea that we develop a stronger pathway, an insulated pathway, when we develop a motor pattern. At the very basic level, we know that we do something over and over again, it becomes the dominant response, whether that is how you kick a ball, how you throw a baseball, how you turn over your hand in a punch. At first, it starts out, the learning process is very explicit, right? When you're riding a bike, you're very conscious of, I gotta hold the brakes, I gotta pedal this way, it's shifting to the left, it's shifting to the right. Well, after a while, that becomes, all of a sudden it's like automatic, and every time you get on a bike you can ride a bike again. That's the transfer from explicit to implicit learning. So now you just automatically respond without thought or a conscious thought about it. So the same thing and the same concept, there's no reason that it should or should not, or sorry, that it shouldn't apply to patterns of thought as well. So that means that you do have dominant responses to certain interactions you have with your environment that may cause stress, that may cause happiness, that create a thought every time you see somebody. If you have a thought about them, that's a pattern or habit of thought. And in the same way that muscle memory works, in that over you do that behavior over and over again, that neural pathway gets insulated by a fatty tissue, that's called your myelin sheath. And just like any type of cable or anything like that, a better insulation means less signal loss. So it means a more dominant response, a stronger signal. So patterns of thought follow the same thing as muscle memory. Keep that in mind as you keep this habit up, and I will talk to you guys next week.